President Trump posted a picture with knuckles of Killmar Abrego Garcia, prominently featured with tattoos showing his gang affiliation with MS-13, which has been classified as a terrorist organization by the Trump administration. But for whatever reason, the Democrats want to continue to rally around this guy, Garcia. They want to put all of their eggs behind him. For what? I don't know. Yo no sé, lo siento, pero yo sé. These Democrats are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs right now as it relates to this. Donald Trump posted, "This is the hand of the man that the Democrats feel should be brought back to the United States because he is such a fine and innocent person." They said he is not a member of MS-13, even though he's got MS-13 tattooed on his knuckles. And two highly respected courts found that he was a member of MS-13, beat up his wife, etc. I was elected to take bad people out of the United States, among other things. I must be allowed to do my job. Make America great again. Now, this picture right here has been going viral over the internet. Yes, of him holding the knuckles right here. And you have people calling this complete BS. They're saying this is, man, hold on. I'm looking at the lineup of my mustache. Why do I got two lineups? What is going on? Anyway, I'll deal with that in a minute. But yeah, you got people out here saying, yo, this is fake and all this other stuff. Rising Wildfire wrote, "This is complete BS. No evidence that this is MS-13 tattoo. Grok, is there any evidence to back this up?" I'm going to see if Grok replied. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think Grok replied to this. I wanted to see Grok reply. Anywho. Left-wingers are calling the picture of Garcia knuckle tattoo a bad Photoshop job. Do they even realize that suspected gang members have their tattoos photographed by law enforcement? It'll be a real shocker for liberals when they find out that the authorities collect DNA from everyone who's committed a felony. Trump posted a fake picture of Abrego Garcia's hand where they have Photoshop letters spelling MS-13 on his upper knuckles. This is somebody on, look like on X right here. Here's the original. Really? Really? That's what we're doing? Now I want y'all to notice something. At what point did MSNBC, or MSNBS as I like to call it, at what point did they decide that they wanted to go ahead and cut Mr. President Trump from talking?
In 2019, Garcia was issued a deportation order. Two separate judges affirmed Garcia was a member of MS-13, which is a gang that may be even worse.
We've been watching President Donald Trump there swearing in the new administrator of the CMS, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid, Dr. Mehmet Oz, during this conversation.
In 2019,
hold
on. Look, one more time. It's only 20 seconds, y'all. Just listen.
19, Garcia was issued a deportation order. Two separate judges affirmed Garcia was a member of MS-13, which
we heard that very clearly. Now watch when they chime in.
Which is a gang that may be even worse.
We've been watching President Donald Trump there swearing in the new.
They worse than me. They worse than every reaction channel on YouTube when it comes to interrupting. Oh, for real. As Tim Young suggested, they aren't interested in reporting facts. They're only talking points from the left. That's it. As soon as he starts talking the facts of the situation, hey, this was reported, this was found out to be this, that. They go, let's go and turn this off. President Trump out here talking. Yeah. Right below that, Buckling Fitches says, Bucking Fitches says, expected but still stunning. Yeah, I mean, it's not too much you can be surprised by from the left these days. But Congresswoman Maxine Dexter posts on social media that she would be traveling to El Salvador to push for the release of an illegal immigrant, MS-13 gang member Killmar Abrego Garcia. The Democrat Party's biggest priority has been exposed, and it sure isn't their American constituents.
Maxine Dexter here.
Oh, no. I gave you a good enough intro. You're going to have to speak up.
Congresswoman Maxine Dexter here from Oregon's 3rd District. What Trump has done to Killmar Abrego Garcia is inhumane, cruel, and it's creating a constitutional crisis. Full stop. It is a government-funded kidnapping, plain and simple. Killmar, a father of 3, lived in Maryland for over half his adult life. He had legal permission to stay in the United States.
Was he here illegally? Did he come here illegally?
Trump mistakenly deported him and is blatantly defying the Supreme Court's order to bring him back. And this isn't just about one man. Trump is targeting international students. He's talking about mass deportations. Hello? No one is safe in Trump's America.
Yeah,
he is trying to incite fear and is directly assaulting the rule of law.
Oh my gosh. She's still talking?
This moment is about whether our government respects the Constitution or steamrolls it. We must speak out. We must stay loud. Our democracy.
Stay loud. That you're talking.
See, and our humanity depends on it.
You know what I was about to say? I was gonna let the comments cook up. But what the hell is going on between the sheets in my home? That's what it feels like when Trump got back in the White House and he seen the Democrats up in there like, oh, what? Y'all in my crib. Hey, go on, what the hell are you talking about? He's somehow going against the Constitution. He's somehow using the government. This is a political kidnapping somehow. Are you serious? You're trying to frame this as that? You guys protect everybody but the American people, your own. It does not make sense. And I don't know, man. I ain't tolerating that. Y'all gonna go over there. You're gonna go over there with Chris Van Hollen to El Salvador to do what? Scott Jennings put Senator Van Hollen on blast, though. Check it out.
Yeah, listening to Van Hollen explain all this, like if you're explaining how you came to be sipping margaritas with an MS-13 gangbanger who's lived illegally in the United States for 14 years before he was finally deported, you're losing, okay? You're losing. You're losing optically, you're losing politically, and I assume the people of Maryland are wondering, why doesn't this guy ever work as hard for us as he does for this guy who's down in El Salvador, which, by the way, is where he's from in the first place? Look, the Trump administration has a legal point of view. They're going to keep working this, through these different court cases. I think, macro view for me, the American people elected Donald Trump to deport illegal aliens. They especially elected him to deport people who are affiliated with very violent transnational gangs that we now characterize as terrorist organizations. I think he's doing his job, and I think the American people are behind him, and I think the Democrats like Van Hollen look ridiculous standing up for him more than they stand up for the people of the United States of America who are actually citizens of this country.
Amen to that. I'm going to say it every time Scott speak. He don't get paid enough. You know what I mean? He needs to get paid a mental, some sort of mental health fee in order to have to deal with everybody up at CNN. But I love that. I'm glad hold on. I'm glad that Thomas Hearn actually put it up in quotes. Dang, I messed up. I moved this a little bit. I wasn't supposed to do that. But he said, if you're explaining how you came to be sipping margaritas with an MS-13 gangbanger who's lived illegally in the U.S. for 14 years before he was finally deported, you're losing, okay? You're losing. You guys are really rallying against everything that you're against. But because it's Donald Trump and his administration, boom. I like what Trump Gunner has. Trump Gunner, man, you might as well be a second host on this show at this point. He says Scott Jennings calls out Senator Van Hollen for meeting with MS-13 gang member who had been illegally in the U.S. for 14 years. Oh, wait, that's the same thing. I don't want to. Anywho, Bridget asks, I don't watch CNN, but I do watch Scott Jennings clips on social media. I'm guilty. Democrats dying on this hill is the dumbest thing ever. I mean, they plan on riding it, dog. I'm just saying, they ain't slow it down no time soon. Look, we got Tim Walz's daughter. That's the sentence. We don't need to add more.
If Jesus were alive today, and
what? I almost said what the H, but I had to respect God. Hold on.
If Jesus were alive today and in the United States, this administration would have already taken him and removed him from this country without due process, claimed he was a member of the MS-13 gang as a way to try to justify not giving him due process, as if there is any justifiable reason to not giving somebody due process. But yeah, some people don't want to talk about that. It truly is baffling how clear and laid out everything is, and there is still people standing by it. I believe in the good of people and like humanity, humans, you know, deep down at our core, like we care about each other. But that's really being tested, because how anyone is okay with this is terrifying to me. But yeah, if you look like me, speak up, speak out, because we might be the only ones safe from what's coming and some of the only people that are able to stop it. So yeah, it's our duty at this point.
I'm acting like a leftist real quick. What? Who look like you? What did she mean by that? No, I'm playing. But what the hell is going on? Timor's daughter compares MS-13 terrorist Killmar, Abrego Garcia, to Jesus, saying Trump would have deported him as a gang member. Bro, what is going on? What? Talk about blasphemous, man. I don't even want to. I'm going to let the comments cook it. This is the kind of thing you would say when Satan is guiding your worldview. Illegal criminal MS-13 gang members should be deported. This is basic for people who love their country. My God, can you imagine where America would be at this moment had Harris won? Losing your hair as a woman has to, wow, okay. Let's just keep going. Killmar Garcia's wife covered his tattoos with heart emojis and a TikTok promoting her GoFundMe, which has already raised $238,000. Check it out. I don't know what the song is, but you got the R&B music. No doubt she missing him, for sure. But it's some suspicions, man. Some things we got to talk about. He apparently abused her physically. She was afraid, or she was withholding certain details, and they can explain it better than I could. So, you know, Garcia's wife refused to state the reasons she asked for a protective order against him in 2021. What does it sound like to y'all, huh?
I have to ask it. You did take out a temporary order of protection against your husband in 2021. Were you in fear of your husband?
My husband is alive. That's all I can say.
Okay, and you know I'm not going to push on that apparently, but how much hope?
Yeah, of course you're not going to push on it. She don't want to talk about it, you know. And for whatever reason, it felt like she was being coerced. When I seen the first interview, it did. It definitely felt like it. Yeah, I got the documents right here. I'm not sure how I can get y'all to be able to see it in full without it being cut off some. I can do this. There we go. Y'all can see it like that. So there go the documents right here. Have a look. Yeah, a little bit. Now, this is brutal. Watch former Congresswoman Loretta Sanchez spiral out of control after she gets hit with a profound question about the wife of Killmar Abrego Garcia and her claim that he beat her up. Let's check it out.
But, Congressman, I'll ask you, did Democrats pick the wrong hero?
We don't know, because there was no due process. We actually have not seen the evidence go
What happened to
before
believe all
a
women?
judge. Pardon me?
What happened to believe all women?
Well, you know, I don't know about that. All I know is that he did not have due process. He did not go before a judge. When he did go before a judge, everybody said, keep him here, don't send him back, because there are gangs that are, it's a peril to his life. He did have a court order that allowed him to stay here. The Trump administration deported him anyway.
But, Congressman, I'll ask you, did Democrats...
Somebody said, you see what happens when you use Democrats' logic against them? They definitely glitch. Yeah, whatever happened to the whole feminist movement, Well, all women believe everything a woman say, woo, 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 you know what I mean? Rally behind her, what's up, what's going on? No, man, Democrats, they pick and choose. I'm trying to tell y'all, it's a pick and choosy situation with them. Now, Chris, how you say his name? Because y'all be getting on me whenever you say it. Is it Cuomo? I always say Cuomo. Is it Cuomo? Tells Chris Cuomo. I'm going to say Chris. And y'all tell me in the comments. Tells Dem Rep Yasemin. And sorry, he can't wrap his head around why her party is fighting so hard for alleged MS-13 member Abrego Garcia. Let's check it out.
Not acknowledging.
I don't understand the Democrats going to these lengths for this particular guy. Why do you want to be seen as though this guy, who may well be an MS-13 gang member, is like the guy you want to die for, going down to this hellhole in El Salvador? Why?
So I believe that this case is incredibly important, not just because of Killmar Garcia himself, but because of what he represents. The fact that the President of the United States is willing to openly defy a Supreme Court order. And as my colleague acknowledged, it is actually up to, or he did not acknowledge, it is up to our president, Donald Trump, the United States, according to the Supreme Court, to facilitate this. It would take one phone call from Donald Trump, one ask to say, get this guy back here because he should be afforded due process. I'm going to follow by the Supreme Court's order to do that. If we let this moment go by and allow the administration to just outright defy our Constitution, then we are full blown in an authoritarian regime that will go further. They've made it very clear in that same Oval Office meeting with Bukele. He said homegrowns are next. I mean, this should terrify every single American. I have not gotten more calls on an issue in my office as a congresswoman than I have on this one. And I represent a district with many immigrants, a very diverse district of immigrants and refugees. People are terrified. I mean, in my own district, people have been wrongfully detained. This is a massive problem that needs to end. So I think more and more members need to stand up for what's happening and travel to make the case.
Well, for what's happening, I'm with you, okay? For what's happening, I'm with you. Due process matters. And I live in a place that is very rich with diversity, and a lot of the people here who are doing the work of this community are not here legally. But I got to tell you, they do not see themselves in Garcia because he is likely a gangbanger who had, a domestic problem with his wife. They do not see themselves.
You see that? Just the second ahead, no. The dude literally
when they look at him. And I don't understand why you just don't argue the law instead of kind of making a George Floyd play with this guy like he's some kind of patron saint of due process.
Yeah, man. I don't understand why they don't want to acknowledge the I don't know the way to put it, the common sense of it all. The guy's here illegally. He has gang affiliation. He has a rap sheet. And, we have documents to prove that he is what he got deported for, which is being an illegal, and then on top of that, being a gang member. Bro, I don't know what else are we talking about? Honestly, we got Senator Van Hollen. I guess we just gonna what is that? I don't even care
about what I would call Margarita Gate. I don't know if you guys have been following this, but President Bukele, after I met with Killmar, did this tweet showing us at a table with these two glasses. So here's what happened. When I first sat down with Killmar, we just had glasses of water on the table. I think maybe some coffee. And as we were talking, one of the government people came over and deposited two other glasses on the table with ice and I don't know if it was salt or sugar around the top, but they look like margaritas. And if you look at the one they put in front of Killmar, it actually had a little less liquid than the one in front of me, to try to make it look, I assume, like he drank out of it. Let me just be very clear. Neither of us touched the drinks that were in front of us. And if you want to play a little Sherlock Holmes, I'll tell you how you can know that. So if you look at the video or the picture I sent out from the beginning of our meeting, you'll see there are no glasses on the table. So you'll see in later videos they are on the table. But they made a little mistake. For some people are very careful, right? If you sip out of one of those glasses, some of whatever it was, salt or sugar, would disappear. You would see a gap. There's no gap. Nobody drank any margaritas or sugar water or whatever it is. But this is a lesson into the lengths that President Bukele will do to deceive people.
Bro, I don't care if you was drinking or not. I don't care. That matters. I mean, very little in the grand scheme of things. And if I'm being honest, bro, it looked like you sound like you took a sip. Somebody was over there enjoying them drinks. You got Tim Wolf's daughter out here spewing a spew. You got CNN hosts out here, you know, Congresswoman out here saying that Donald Trump is basically a threat to the democracy and all. Man, it's a lot. As it relates to this MS-13 gang member, though, hey, you're here legally. You're talking about due process. You've been found by 2 judges to be a part of a gang and to be here illegally. Y'all be safe. Go check on somebody today. You quite literally be saving their life, all right? Thank y'all for the likes, comments, and all the shares, man. It's greatly appreciated.